the On Call Podcast, your home for sports, news, pop culture, tech, and the obscure. And of course, your host, Michael Meyer.
I've been drinking Kool-Aid jammers like I did when I was 9, 'cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple 'cause it feels like a lie. We play Halo and we lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, 'cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes.
All right. So, this is the On-Call Podcast. We are broadcasting in high def for the first time, I think. Pretty sure. And my co-host has kind of gone a little AWOL. But, you know, he's busy. He's got his real podcast, which, if you guys have listened before, is much more successful than this one that we mess around on. So good on him. I'm sure he's busy, or he's on Bumble doing his thing. But we should be good to roll right now. We should be full blown live. Anyway, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about because this is mainly about setting up and doing this right. We got a new camera today. Came in yesterday, took a few family photos. They're coming out real good. I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty old ass technology. It's a Sony A6000, and I'm digging it. We're gonna take a bunch of family photos as expected, because that's what you do when you got kids. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. A couple of news stories to talk about, but not anything pressing. Technology, not a whole lot going on. Cyberpunk. If you guys play Cyberpunk, it's they released a hotfix and it's already broken. Like the third main mission of the game is already gypped, so that's not ideal for anybody. Once you go into that mission with Takamura, phone will ring and then it won't answer, and he can't talk, and then it essentially bricks the whole save you got. So save it before that mission starts, otherwise you're pretty much fucking screwed. Anyway, other than that, sports. Well, Aaron Rodgers lost another NFC championship. Sucks for him. If you've been listening to any of the talk, because Aaron Rodgers was a little bit dismissive, everyone's thinking he's gonna straight up leave the Packers. Like, dude has like a pretty much a season to end all seasons for him. Probably his best overall season as a quarterback, and he's like 13 years in the league. He's not going anywhere. The Packers would be dumb as shit to trade him. I watched him talk on the Pat McAfee show, and he doesn't care what those reporters are saying, so he's not going anywhere. You don't trade him even for first round picks or anything like that, because he's baller. Would he have 4 picks and 40 touchdowns, maybe 6 picks? Getting a notification from YouTube here saying the recommended bit rate see if I can change that. Settings, bit rate. Let's improve bit rate. We got the internet to end all internet. So I don't think the last time I was broadcasting, my internet was that supreme. Let me tell you right now, it is supreme. I am right now currently, my internet is at 800 megs per second down and 900 up. And now we're good to go. Good connection. All right. Can't beat that. Oh, too many zeros. Good bit rate. There we go. Sorry about that. Next. Still live. All right, we're good. I think. I'll take it. Onwards. So in the Super Bowl this year, we now have the Kansas City Chiefs, which everyone pretty much expected going into it, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Couldn't even make the playoffs last year. They get Tampa. They get Tom Brady, and bam, Super Bowl in Tampa. You can't write that shit. Now on top of that, I live down here on like an hour and a half from Tampa Stadium. Was it? I always call it Camp Randall, but it's not. That's Wisconsin. But I live like an hour and a half from the stadium, and I worked at the hospital. That was one of the closest ones, Sarasota Memorial. And congrats to the NFL for actually giving like 75 Super Bowl tickets to the COVID team at Sarasota Memorial. Considering that tickets are going right now, I think for $8,000. That's a pretty boss move. Good on him. Good on Roger Goodell. Good on the NFL. I'm happy for my previous coworkers that made it and they got all that fucking money. Because even as an avid football fan, I would be hawking my ticket. Because the game that you see at the stadium is not going to be near as good as the game that you would see if you were at home on a big screen with your own food and not paying $10 a beer. Let's see. I'm getting a warning. What is the recommended bitrate, YouTube? They want 4,500. Okay. Sons of bitches. Or maybe it's just to being rude. So since the last episode, we had Biden officially take office. He's doing a lot of good things. I did see on Yahoo his approval rating is now higher than Donald Trump's ever was. Kind of impressive. Pretty cool for him. I do like they're taking the pandemic seriously. I do like that they want to extend unemployment benefits because, like it or not, people lost their jobs to this. Let people get paid. If people are that satisfied with, a few $100 a week, let them be. And if you're mad that people are making that much money while unemployment because you're not making enough, that's not their problem. That's your employer's problem for not paying you a decent wage. Maybe that's why we should have a raised standard minimum wage. I voted for $15 an hour. Granted, it does take away from the value of my rate per hour, but taking away from others doesn't make me higher. So, raise the minimum wage, extend unemployment benefits. Let people. You're not living a glorious life at $600 a week. You're just not. And down here in Florida, $600 a week means you're still going to get a couple of roommates to live in your apartment. So it's hard for me to bitch at them for trying to keep a house and home. And if you got kids, okay, you can say, give them a little bit more. Fine with me too. I realize I have much more socialistic views in that regard. I believe in social programs. Pardon my beer. That was the end of one. That's why I brought two for this. A little nervous to stream, actually. People who've watched the On-Call Pod on YouTube or listened to it on Podbean or their browser on the OnCallPod.com, Spotify, Apple, even Alexa. Everything's recorded, edited, uploaded. In my previous internet, it would actually take me close to 12 hours to upload a standard hour video. Well, now we have fast enough internet. We'll just stream it. Why not? I like to live fast and loose. My goal now with this internet and being in the man cave, I realize audio is not fantastic yet. I'm going to lay out some carpet, really deaden some of this echo. And with this fancy camera, I got another regular basic old Logitech webcam that I bought when I was in the Navy, but it still records in 720 to have a guest over on, I got a little couch there sitting next to that Harley that's not mine. So do some guest work or have the wife come on here. She acts like she doesn't like it, but boy, does she certainly seem to enjoy it when she's on and has a lot of talking points to bring to the table. So I would certainly like to have her on more. Next. Speaking of social programs, Joe Biden ended the Department of Justice to end privatized prisons. Thank you. Because any prison that is meant to keep is not a profit unless it's 90 to 95% occupied. And the kickbacks that they're giving judges, which is well known, it's a private company, so they're trying to make money. So they're paying people to make sure that they stay full. That is not beneficial to any sort of the population. So let's try to promote them succeeding. I'm all for more of a rehab situation for prisoners, whether drugs, alcohol abuse, pedophiles. No, there's no rehabbing that. You can do chemical castration. You can do physical castration. There's a lot of brain issues with that. And as a nurse, I have no depth. It's way beyond me. They're screwed. They're not. If you're a pedophile, there's no rehabbing you. You're not. Those private prisons, put all the pedophiles in there. Load them up. But the ending of private prisons, I think, is going to be great for the population in general. I am all for it. Let's see here. I even got that pulled up on the old interwebs. Right there. Old Biden signing in. Oh, wait. Let me point it over this way. Right there. Huddle up. Boom. End of private prison. I think that is great. I am all for it. Old Sleepy Joe. Done a couple of things I'm pretty proud of thus far. All right. I already talked about that. This is sad. Only because I don't know if any of you guys have TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. They did scare me with unimpeded access to all of your data with the Chinese company. Maybe that's all bullshit. I don't know. And I don't know enough to say anything. I realize Google's already capturing all of my info as it is. But putting it in foreign hands, at least I know, like, if someone steals my data here, if anything serious happens, CIA can just grab it. They can fight for me if need be, because I'm not doing anything wrong. So if someone steals from me, it's usually them doing something wrong. But I didn't want it in the hands of whoever owned TikTok, probably Tencent, because they own everything over there, every mobile video game platform. I play PUBG too, and that's owned by Tencent. Now speaking of that stuff, Kellyanne Conway, one of a big Trump supporter. Okay. Well, she's been in some heat because her 16-year-old daughter was making TikToks and recording herself on Facebook Live of her mom like losing her shit on her. Then CPS was called, or the cops were called. Now, all of that's kind of like some white trash bullshit until today. A topless photo of her 16-year-old daughter was uploaded to Kellyanne Conway's Twitter. Claudia Conway, the 16-year-old daughter, went onto Facebook Live or TikTok, one of the two, and she said, "There is no way anybody else has this photo. Only one person could have it." Lo and behold, CPS is now looking into Kellyanne Conway. Like, this is crazy, the amount of stuff going down with former huge Trump supporters. I don't know. I don't know if how much of this is like legit stuff, or if it's just corruption getting called out now because there's someone else in office, or if they're on trumped up charges. Pun intended. But, Rudy Giuliani just lost all of his, he was just demonetized on YouTube, so he can't make any money from ads. They're shitting down Ted Cruz's throat right now. So he's not going to get a bunch of other fundings that he had lined up. It is going crazy now. The pedophile, child pornography. If you're posting a photo of an underage girl, that would be considered pornography. Abuse? I don't know. I don't even know the statutes of what that would even be called. It's crazy though. On to better and brighter things. I don't want to talk about it, but bam, like it's all over in the Post, BuzzFeed, Variety. I hope she didn't. That's all I can say. I hope she didn't. That's your daughter. Like you raised her. You can't be that person. Anyway, move this little cursor over real quick. Reddit being it's actually been on the topic of Wall Street, and it is gnarly. So I've been on the Wall Street bets thing because I have very minorly attempted to dabble in the stock market. I had 3 stocks that I did really well on. Unfortunately, I did so poorly on the other ones, I essentially washed out. I also pussed out on most of the ones that would have paid off handsomely. So I actually, over the year, lost, I think, like $27. So like I am truly washed. So I'm not even too worried about that for my taxes this year, which, if you didn't know, taxes got delayed till I think February 12th. Sorry about your luck. I'm excited for it. I don't make no money being a nurse. Got a kid. Sadly, I'm hoping Biden reinstates the housing thing, because like the house income tax thing is gone. So I'm ready for it. Now, speaking of the Wall Street bets, let me see here. We got to change this. This is the wrong this month. So there's this fella, the Citron. The Citron is the company. Dude works for Citron. His whole job is to shit on and short other companies. Now, this guy decided to crap on GameStop. He said that he ultimately made it so that it was the most shorted company almost in history in all of Wall Street. Delicious. Now, the thing about that, let me change it to hot, not even top. If your job is to short all these stocks, you're betting that they're going to fail. Well, it's cool to think that, But if you're wrong and you short it, what you actually end up having to do is to buy back into that stock. That's not him. That's not EFV. I'll just have to search the person real quick. There he is. He's even huge on. He has his own page now. So there it is. Oh, that's AMC. No, I don't want to short on AMC. So he shorted on GameStop because of this Citron company. I wish I would have saved the link for it originally. But let's see. How old is that? That's too old. So this guy from Citron decides to short GameStop, an ultimate short. So everyone in the market decides that they're going to buy shorts on it. Well, what you're betting on is that's going to hit to a certain point for it to pay out. Well, this guy, he goes by deep fucking value on Reddit. This is back in September of 2019, I think is when this all started. Could have been September 2020. So everyone's betting against it. And he starts laying out these posts on why it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off big. You guys are wrong because they made $1.9 billion in a quarter before COVID. So it was September of 2019. Now you go into the year of COVID last year, and they just raked in dollars because everyone's stuck at home. So what are they doing? They're buying video games, whether it's physical or digital, but people are ordering their video game systems off of GameStop. They went into a partnership with Microsoft, which is a huge boon for them, which meant that they were then allowed to sell stuff. Like they'd buy stock from stock of supplies from Microsoft and then sponsor it themselves. So everything that they would sell would be upped. They were like their own middleman. It was crazy. So they were getting higher profits by peddling Microsoft stuff, Xbox's, Microsoft Studios games. But everyone thought that GameStop would die. Well, didn't die. They're killing it. So they made $1.9 billion in the quarter before COVID, and then they made enough money the first quarter of last year, and the first two quarters they paid off like all of their outstanding debt when they were filing for bankruptcy, and still made a profit. So all these people that have been shorting realize, oh shit, we're screwed. So this deep fucking value guy is on there talking about it, and he's like, just wait. January 2021, keep watching, keep waiting. It's going to happen. Everyone's wanting to short it, but it's not going to go short because they're having record profits. A major company endorsement now who's going to be in partnership with them, trying to, even if they have a loss, Microsoft's eating part of the loss. Bam, this dude wagers $50,000, his entire life savings. That's more than I got. So even if I believed in it, I wouldn't have spent my whole life savings. I don't think I've ever believed in anything so much that I would bet my entire life savings on it. But he did it. He fucking did it. He turned, to date, $50,000 into $13 million. He has been shit on so hard on all of the news, money things. Jim Cramer. I grew up watching that in technology class and stock market class at South Beloit. But he fucking did it. So everybody was shitting on him for it. So let's see. We saw what it was down to nothing. Let's see. What is the price on stock right now? Holy shit. So this guy, deep fucking value. Look at that. GameStop short sellers have lost $5 billion. This guy, deep fucking value. So I've been following this for going on 2 months now. His belief. I've never had anyone hardcore believe on something the way he has. let's see, does it mention him at all? This is from markets.businessinsider.com. Games, their shares have spiked more than 500%. Can you believe that? That short squeeze has just raped all these big businessmen. I gotta believe Reddit might have power behind it. Oof. Now, if I remember right, he bought that stock. He bought that stock, I think, at like $1 or something crazy. Let's see. Oh, look at my fabulous internet. There it is. Let's see. So his first initial call, 31 cents a stock. I am astounded. 31 cents a stock. It is now valued over 120. So there's right there. September of 2019. 50,000 long position. That is fucking crazy. I hope one day I can have that much belief and faith in something. I don't necessarily think that I will. I would like to hope I will. So anyway, on to sports. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Anytime that Aaron Rodgers isn't in it. Granted, it's not Aaron Rodgers. It's the Packers. Bears fan. Mac jersey's right there. Huge Bears fan. I'm very much an anti-Packer fan. So I did hate Aaron Rodgers for a long time. Comes off kind of an asshole. Turns out, after watching him so long on the Pat McAfee show, dude's pretty cool. Oh well. I'll root for him now because he's cool as shit. But I'm not going to root for the Packers. Can't fucking do it. They lost. There's also a superstar for Tampa Bay. Big fan of. That's Devin White. He's my Madden guy. When I play Madden, I trade for him every season. This is his second year. I've traded for him the last 2 years. Superstar. Also, Chiefs fan. Who doesn't? It's really hard to hate the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes seems cool as hell. Andy Reid, the lovable walrus that he is. I love how much he loves his wife and loves his food. I'm working my way towards an Andy Reid lifestyle. My bet, sadly, you know what? No, because the Chiefs left tackle Eric Fisher, perennial Pro Bowler, got hurt. Torn Achilles. He's out. Their second string left tackle got hurt before that. So now they're both blindside tackles are out. That's hard to bet on. You can't bet against the Chiefs. I know the rushing offense or the rushing defense pass rush of the Tampa Bay is gnarly. I don't think they're going to get there enough because they had the two fastest receivers in the league, and McCole Hardman and Cheetah. They can get anywhere they want. Travis Kelce can blow anyone out the water, push it faster than a linebacker, too strong for a safety. Like you can't bet against the Chiefs. So predictions here on January 26th, 11:40 p.m. My bet, I take the Chiefs up to 6.5. I bet they win by 7+. I think the opening line was Chiefs at 3. I bet they win by a touchdown. Tom doesn't win those close games. I don't think it'd be close enough for clutch Tom Brady to lead him to victory. So the season's almost over. We got 1 game left. Built the man cave. Now I can't even fucking use it. Except for recording this. Mock draft. First round pick. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence, obviously. Number 2, they're picking I don't know what dipshit did this because they're saying Zach Wilson, the QB of BYU, is going to number 2 to the Jets. I don't think Zach Wilson's the number 2 quarterback in the draft, let alone should be the number 2 pick, the whole thing. Number 3, they've got Micah Parsons. That's a good pick. Unless they don't believe in Tua, in which case they could be up shit's creek unless they plan on trading Tua and their other first rounder for Watson plus something else. Because I'm here, the talk in the locker room is that the Dolphins weren't real big fans of Tua thus far. They don't think he has the it factor. The Lions, they agreed to move on from Matthew Stafford. Ugh. That dude's a rocket, and he's hella tough. They keep showing all over Instagram his video where he separated his left shoulder, but he's like, if you need me to throw, I'll throw. And then threw a touchdown. His time expired to win the game as a rookie. Yeah, dude's a baller. You don't get rid of that. Unfortunately, you're the Lions, so you're going to suck forever. They pick 4. They got Penei Sewell, the Oregon tackle. I would have them pick a quarterback before I would have the Jets pick a quarterback because I don't think Darnold's lost it. I think Darnold is a fucking good quarterback. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. I think he's just in a shitty system with a shitty coach. So if you want to trade him, you can get yourself a 3rd, 4th rounder, but I don't think he's going to fetch much more than that. Find out. Pick 5, Northwestern junior Rashawn Slater. That's good. I'll take that. Kyle Pitts, number 6 to Philadelphia. Yeah, I can see it, but they got an offensive line that's getting hurt. Zach Ertz is a badass, but I think he's going to want more money. And Goddard, I think, in his final deal, which would mean that they're going to need another tight end. But do you trade 2 awesome tight ends and draft another one, just recycle? Because you're not going to hit on great tight ends every few years. It's just not going to happen. You don't want to risk that. Yeah, we'll just go through 6. I think that's enough for the night. I want to watch some television with the family. Get some cuddles in with the baby. I think 32 minutes is enough for you guys. You probably had enough of me talking solo. This has been the On Call podcast. I've enjoyed talking to you guys. Hopefully you like the improved quality of video. Hope it sounded all right for you because I can't really tell. I'm not really hearing it the same way back. Everybody hates the sound of their own voice. So I'll be back soon. Hell, even tomorrow. I don't know. I'll try to get a hold of Lowell and see what he's up to. Hope he's doing all right. Lowell, come on, anybody. I'll reach out to you. Dad, I hope you're watching or will watch at some point. This has been the On Call podcast.
Listening to the On Call podcast. Check us out on Twitter at OnCallPod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.